the calm before the storm. Things aren't as they were before. I was gonna say, you just sat watching darts,
here for...
Did you think you could keep us out? Shut the gates, forget us now. It's hard to change it.
I'll start as soon as we get into quality.
Can you hear the sound? Can't stop us now. We're not back in town, know what we're doing.
Come on,
about
Dad,
to change its evolution. Voices shake the ground, you feel it more.
Let's add it live. Hello everyone, good evening and welcome to round 4 of Tier S here in AEC. It's the French Grand Prix this evening. Not the most glamorous in the world, I must admit, but every race can be made exciting by the close championship fight that we have once again brewing at the top of the table. I'm back. I'm Joseph. It's good to be in AEC again, albeit just for 1 week. And alongside me, it's not Ross Greenhorn, because he decided he wanted to drop his headset off his desk. So we've had to recall the old darts watching man himself, Tom Knepp. How are you? That's alright, and I'm very quickly gone. Apparently we can't hear you. Second. Is it you that's forgot to...
Hello? I might have not included my audio. I have now. Welcome.
Do you want to start again?
Nah, forget it. I hope everyone can hear me.
Well, yeah, he's back. I'm back. Job's a good one. We've got cars on circuit, and everyone's in a bit of a rush, and I thought the track might have been a little bit damp. Or at least... it feels like it's just stopped raining, or it's about to start raining. So one of the two. Everyone's in a rush. Everyone's willing to get out there nice and early. But let's talk about this championship fight because, well, it's almost the same as what we had last season. Bunga Racing Team lead at the moment. Novus Racing are in second, chasing just 7 points. And Top Tier Motorsport very much involved as well, just 17 behind. At this stage last season, it was BRT chasing. This time around, it's NVR. What difference will that make? And will pretty much as strong as it comes lineup from NVR, will that make all the difference tonight?
This is my first race in TRS this season. NVR, BRT, the two teams obviously you're going to be keeping an eye on. Who are we missing, by the way? We've got 19. Did you?
I think it's Partik, who's had to attend some family issues at seemingly very short notice. I hope all is okay.
That's fair. That is fair. Mr. Partik, he wasn't happy with me yesterday.
Is it Partik? No, it's not Partik. Sorry. He's here. It's Gergen. Sorry, it was... Yeah, Partik who said it was Gergo. That's why I got confused.
Partik does the talking for
He's in the chat. So... Yeah, my bad on that one. Hello, Typical. Hello, Jacob. Hello, everybody. I'm sure you weren't expecting me, but here we are anyway. TTM Stonks is on a flyer. In the second sector split now, 49.2 for the middle sector. I think Liam Bowman is just in front of him on the circuit. He did a 49 once. This could be a statement start from the driver who won 4 races last season. Yeah, it's a pretty good record to come into this one. We've not had France in Tier S as of yet, so a nice new circuit for us to get our teeth stuck into. But he rounds the final corner, opens up the DRS, and we're looking at around a low 1 minute 28 banker. Can he dip into the 27s? No, he's still quite a way off that low 1 minute 28. 1 minute 28.651. Stonks is in the lower half of the 128s with a 491.
A lot of people invalidating it. I've got one on board Bourbon Boy and then I think Gabor as well. There's a few people testing them track limits to the absolute maximum. And that might be pivotal come the end if you can't get a banker in, then you're pressured just to set a lap and see how it goes. Mr. Gabor is probably going to send it into the pits. He's not got enough ERS to go again. But yeah, I reckon 28.1, 28 flats. Might be Paul. I might be wrong, but you never know.
We'll see. That is what they are aiming for. That's for certain. Patrick Leger, who I think has gone for a double outlap here, has recharged his battery, possibly following an early mistake. Liam Hardman crosses the line and goes 4th quickest. And of course, Patrick Leger, who didn't officially invalidate, goes about 20 seconds slower than the provisional pole time at the moment. Surprising to not see many laps in the first 5 minutes, as TTM Placky now goes quicker ahead of his teammate by just under half a tenth there. M-Racer goes up to 3rd. ADEF won her into P4. Now Supply Raptor jumping. I'm just trying to see who's next across the line. I think it is Nael Guilleux. If my French pronunciation... That was terrible. That was awful. But he goes ahead of his teammate in his home Grand Prix.
Well, the neck. Yeah, Mr. Gabor is on a lap, but he's not got enough ARS, so he'll be coming into the pit. St. Barrack's invalidated. His lap has ended. That could be it, to be honest. Patrick... Yeah, I think it might be Patrick, one of the only ones still out there on an actual decent lap. Easton also just started his laps. There's a few drivers all coming into the pits after their first runs. It is very close. Top 8 separated by 0.3 of a second. Well, Mr. Patrick Ledger, we'll just call him Ledger, probably butchered it, but you know. Into Sector 3 goes. It's a tricky, that's where you gain all your time, Sector 3. Sector 2, there's but maybe the chicane, and that is about it. But Patrick on his way to the final corner. DRS will be activated for him. Where is he going to put himself? Turns a bit sharp, play DRS open, on his way to the line, and Patrick goes into P9, it was P11, 29.1.
Indeed he does, on slightly more used set of tyres, so there's going to be plenty of time in that lap. Easton invalidated, Simbarox coming back into the pit lane. That leaves us just with drivers coming back in, including Supply Raptor. It might be an old half day or whatever at school for him today over in the States, of course. Nice to see him making every effort that he can to race for FRT, who he's partnering Agonised today. That's a fairly recent signing. Not sure he's had too much race action as of yet. I mean, I've not been here in AEC to see if he's raced as much, but either way, an exciting duo. Raptor is on school holidays. So am I. So me and Raptor should be friends.
Different type of, different schools around the country have different half terms, because our half term for schools was last week. However, my half term for uni is next week. There you go. Fun fact of the day. I'm not going to lie, I've missed the last minute because Luke Humphries and Rob Cross have gone onto the side of the leg. However, Sim Barracks 1 is on a lap. He might be one of the only drivers still on a lap. Patrick is slowing down. He's coming into the pits. He's run out of fuel. So yeah, it is Mr. Sim Barracks. Well, he looks like he's run out of ERS. He's on an in lap. There's no one on our lap, Joseph.
Bourbon Boy, outlap. TTM, Stonks and Placky have both just exited the pit lane as well. You can see that funnel of cars, which might prompt a little bit of trouble for the ATX driver of Bourbon. Again, he's been passed around fairly recently as well, hasn't he? BRT for a short period of time. He's been everywhere. But he does stay in ATX for the time being, as he will set up this lap now. I'm not sure if he did get a banker on the boards, an invalid one that is. Let's have a look at his invalidation. 28.6, that's not a particularly bad effort at all. That would have put him P6 ahead of Liam Bowman, so he'll use that invalid delta to try and make improvements on this lap. As he rounds the final corner, I'll let you watch the deciding leg of darts and watch him open up the DRS. Has he? Oh, who's won?
Rob Cross.
Oh, well, it definitely isn't Shampoo. Into the first corner for Bourbon Boy. Goes downhill, this right-hander as well. Try and take as much inside curb as possible to try and leave yourself tight, not invalidating on the exit. Into turn number 3 then. Again, attacking both curbs. Can get caught out with a corner cut there on the inside of 4. Slow speed, technical 5. Run out wide. Missed the apex slightly. Oh, he's backed out. It was a purple sector 1, which is what was fascinating about that. So certainly an improvement on what he did at the start of the session, but he has decided to give up with that lap, possibly owing to the accumulation of traffic or just a bad run out of 6. Yeah.
Sector 3 is a bit of a mess. I mean, if you wait another 10 seconds, you're going to have another 5 cars during Sector 3. Everyone is waiting. You know, everyone's got the same pattern here of going out for laps at the exact same time. I understand it. You want to get as many laps as you can, but you've got to find that little bit of that little gap. Who's the Red Bull who's found a little bit of a gap there? It's not Embrace, it's Bobbitt. Bobbitt's found the biggest gap there. He's got a bit of like clean air. So let's see how it goes. Everyone's now on their second runs,
including TTM Stonks, who's heading down the Mistral now. It's a 1.8 kilometre long straight if they didn't have the chicane there. But, well, we do have it for Formula 1, so that sort of breaks it into 2. 4th gear, then down to 3rd for the second part at turn 9, all over that inside curb. And he's now down the second part. No DRS here, of course, but it leads into the flat-out right-hander of turn 10. Scene corner, where we will see some further overtaking. Then into Bose, turn number 11, nice and tight to the inside, run it out wide. A lot of engine braking required for this part. Very precise part of the track that the drivers had to get used to. Into turn 12, you'll never guess what it's called. It's called Bender. So, well, we'll have a field day with that tonight. Into turn 13, then 14, long left-hander. Again, just a bit hesitant over that curb. Now round to the final corner, straighten up the car, full throttle to the line. Keep to the left if possible, minimise the distance, and he crosses the line. There's the low 28 we were after. TTM Stokes puts daylight between himself and his teammate, of which he'll be the next car to cross the line. He's only found 600th so far. Has he found any more in the final sector? As you mentioned earlier, it's where the time is usually found. TTM Placky to the line, and TT8 Placky into the .2s. Agonised, splitting the two Dutchmen.
I was literally watching Bowman's whole lap there, and I was saying to myself, there's no way this doesn't get pole position. He just took that to the absolute limits that whole lap. It was pretty incredible, to be honest. He was only half a tenth up going into Sector 3. So he's gained about 4.5 tenths there in Sector 3 alone on his previous lap. That is a stellar lap, that, and I think that might be hard to beat, to be honest. We haven't got 6 minutes to go, though, but I don't know how he improves in that lap, to be honest. Maybe the track evolution, he might get another tenth out of it, but that was incredible.
Yeah, we're down flirting with the 1 minute 27s, aren't we? NVR Gabor still yet to have set a lap time. We'll monitor the Hungarian as he arrives into the final sector. First up, though, is Easton. He does a 28.8, not particularly threatening at this stage. Bobbitt's didn't get a valid lap in, despite all that space that he had on the outlap. So that's an interesting one. Gabor goes all over the inside of turn 13, invalidates and bails into the pit lane. Pressure on for the man who often does so well in qualifying. This is unlike him to be down there, but we just know how quickly as well he can turn it around. Bowman, his teammate, finding 5 tenths in between his first and second laps. We've got 3 different teams in the top 3, all separated by just under a tenth of a second.
That's what you want, though. You want close quality like this. It's something that makes an interesting race, really. You don't have anyone pulling away. It's all going to be very, very close. And if you watched yesterday's race, you know how close it's going to be. But Bowman at the moment on pole. 4 drivers not set a time. I mean, I don't know if Partick is going to come out, to be honest. He might be watching the darts as well.
Don't blame him. I wish I could at this stage, but full focus on the job that we have on hand, and that is trying to emulate Ross Greenhorn's beautiful commentary over the first 3 rounds of the season. But if you're just joining us, wondering where he is, he snapped his headphone jack. No, I can't believe it either. We almost had Jacob commentating this evening.
It was going to be
you.
Jacob and Lennon. That's what we were going to have. Like.
Sorry, Jacob. Sorry. We were nearly down that road, weren't we? Anyway, Simbarox One did come into the pit lane. Patrick Leger will join him. Supply Raptor out first on the circuit. Everyone's favourite American. Well, the only American that you can support on the circuit tonight. Yeah, Jacob's annoyed. It's taken me 15 minutes to annoy him. I didn't mean it like that. Come on.
Partick is out on track, everyone. He is on the back straight now. So he is going to try and set... It will be his only lap, actually.
Supply Raptor, though. Crosses the start-finish line. I'm intrigued to see what he does at turn 1 here. The bollard is missing. It's usually a nice sticky-uppy bit for a driver to aim for. And he's invalidated on the exit of 2. Yikes.
Interesting. On board with Partick, this is a common strategy to do. You see he's braking and accelerating. His engine temperatures will be through the roof, but he's burning fuel, trying to get it down to like literally 1 lap to maximise this 1 lap that he's going to do it. I don't know if it impacts engine temps, but in real life it would.
Yeah, absolutely. It's usually the race where you have to worry about the engine temperatures. Qualifying, it doesn't really matter that much for some reason. It does get hotter, but again, you're fine as soon as you get to this point. And look at the 2 Williams cars trying to get out of the way. That was certainly off-putting for Partick, because I felt like he couldn't go as wide into the corner, use as much as the racing line as he wanted to there, and that is not the fault of the 2 Williams, might we add.
Yeah, he wanted to go all the way to the right-hand side, but he literally couldn't as those cars coming out the pit, and if the cars in the pit would have broke, they might have got done for blocking the pit lane, so it was kind of a catch-22. Partick then, down the straight, DRS wide open from he's not set a time, he's set in P18. He's pulled something out of the bag here.
And that's the sort of line he wanted to take, going into the chicane. I don't think that was too clean. He turned it too early there, did AMS Partick. He's the lone Haas this evening, the lone AMS driver. Unfortunately, Gergo, his teammate, having to withdraw. AMS currently sitting 7th in the team's championship, but it's very close in behind, so they could lose a little bit of ground here this evening. Supply Raptor has invalidated. Well, he did invalidate. That's caused him to retire, coming back into the pit lane. But AMS Partick, that's wide. Is that still valid? That is an absolute miracle. That looked like a clear as day track extension to me, as 2, 3, 4 cars there get out of his way. He rounds the final corner. Is he going to get into the 28s? That's my question, because this has been a rough lap since the very first corner. That wasn't his fault. Crosses the line. It's a mid-29 for AMS Partick. And that lap time will not go down in AEC folklore, that's for sure. We might have some, though. NVR Gabber is out there. He's still valid at the moment. He's approaching turn number 8 now. But who is going to be first up out of the heavy runners? Stonks, it looks like. Found time in the first sector. Lost 700ths in the second.
Yeah, Mr. Gabor as well, now 49 flat after 2 sets. He's currently right at the back of the grid. He's not set a time. This has to be valid for him, for his team as well. Mr. Bowman just coming to... He's invalidated. Bowman is invalidated, so he will not be improving on his P1. 28.1 is the best he's doing. Drivers, though, coming around Stonks, and yeah, Mr. Gabor as well.
Here comes Stonks then. That second sector let him down ever so slightly. If he'd just maintained the time, he'd be on for pole position right now. But has he managed to recover in the final sector? Stonks to the line, and he just misses out, even on his personal best. It was a personal best matching sector 3 for him. But as I said, it was sector 2 that just let him slip away. Gabor went 6th. That's displaced by M-Racer, who goes 5th. Team Shazoo 9th in the championship. They need a big start here tonight. TTM Placky now rounded the final corner as Justin went P6, jumping ahead of his teammate for the time being. Placky to the line, deploy used, and he also misses out on his personal best by 6 thousandths this time, not 16. So, ETA Agonised, who was a 10th and a half down in the middle sector, again, might have just made Liam Bowman get away with this. Yep, time lost there as well, and he was unable to recover. Bowman would have been in the 1 minute 27s, if not for the invalidation. He's going to start on pole position, bar an ESV Bobbitt's miracle. He goes 13th. Liam Hardman is invalidated. Patrick Leger to the line. Where does he jump up to? Only 13th, knocking down Bobbitt's an extra position. As I said, Liam Hardman, God, I'm already confused, invalidated. Nael Guillot and his home Grand Prix goes 16th, and that just about does it. A clear disparity between our two halves of the grid, but Liam Bowman, he was improving, but he still gets away with it.
Yeah, so Bowman's second run there got him enough. I watched it out, I thought that would be enough, and it turns out it would have been. And, as you pointed out, he could have gone quicker as well.
He could have. Let's have a look at our final qualifying order. Liam Bowman back in AEC and back with a pole position start. TTM Stonks second on the grid. He finished 3rd last week. TTM have had a car on the podium in every race so far this season. Agonised with a fantastic start. One of his best circuits. The Romanian there in 3rd. TTM Placky 4th. First Shazoo driver M-Racer in 5th. Of the 2 BRT runners of ADEF1 Her and Justin, our championship leaders. Gabor, who is now Bulgarian, in 8th, ahead of Dan Jones for TF10. His first start for them. Bourbon Boy, Supply Raptor, Easton, Patrick Leger, Bobbers, Liam Harmon, Nian Guillot, and then the others. Sorry.
The others.
The others.
So we'll get on the way in a
I think
couple
there was
minutes. Is it a dry race? That's what we want to see first. It is. You've loaded in quicker than me.
Yes.
I'm in. Yep, race. Click on race director, see the strategies and all that, but we get on the way in a couple of minutes.
Indeed. It has that overcast feel that we had at the start of qualifying. And it has that very, again, cold-looking circuit. I'm not sure that's going to make too much of a difference, but yeah. Should stay dry on the basis of what we had in qualifying. Ready up at 28, says our lobby host for this evening, ESV Bobbitt. He'll want to get on with quickly, so will the other 18 drivers on the grid. Race day predictions. I say race day, it's all on the same day. What am I on about? F1's around the corner. It's getting in my head already. We've had BRT winning round 1. We've had NVR winning rounds 2 and 3. Will it be 3 in a row? for the defending champions, or will we see someone like TTM FRT, who've had great starts to the season, get their first win?
Let's see how it goes. Race director, what's mixed strategies? I don't know if you've got it up on your...
Let's have a look. It usually glitches me, so I don't like to risk it.
Oh, I can do it for you. Oh, you're on it.
I'm on. We've taken the risk. Yeah, I'm not sure if this will stand, but so far, Liam Bowman's got some defending to do. Placky's just changed to hards, and I'm sure his teammate might join him unless they split the strategy, which isn't too uncommon. Agonize jumps on the hards, and with a minute to go before we ready up, Stonks is going to want to make that decision. Everybody's watching you, because if not, we've got a difference on the front row.
See how this plays out. Turn 1 can be crucial here because it's not a slow speed corner. It's one of the quickest, to be honest. It's a bit like Silverstone, but instead of going right, you're going left kind of vibe.
Yeah. I get what you mean.
It's kind of, isn't it? You know what I mean? Yeah.
So, yeah, okay.
It can cause chaos. It really can cause chaos.
Well, they're both clockwise. Just this one goes left first turn.
Yeah.
So you're saying scene is like Cop's Corner, turn 10. They've tried to make a shit Maggots and Beckett's for the chicane. No, I don't see it.
I'm not saying the track, I'm saying the corner. But we are going to get on the way. People can ready up now. Everyone's gone back on hards. I don't know if you've seen. Oh, apart from your mate.
Who's my mate? Ah, Neil Guillot! Yeah! Voila!
He's going to send a complaint in, isn't he?
I have a great French relationship in the community. I like to make them laugh. Hopefully, not for bad reasons this evening. Here come the lights. All 5 on ahead of the drivers at second. Paul Ricard, and we go racing with Liam Bowman on pole position. Has he got away well? Stoggs always gets good starts, and he's putting the Scottish driver under some early pressure, but Liam Bowman just edges in front by the time they get into the first corner, with Justin looking to make an attack on Placky. Adef won her as well on Gabor. Great start from the two Bunker Racing Team drivers. They need a good start, and almost up the inside there went Justin. Dan Jones there in the mid-pack, side by side with Bourbon Boy. A little bit of contact it looked like on the front wing there of Adef won her. Saw nothing flying off though. Looks like he's relatively intact. Gabor goes a little bit wide there. That invites Adef won her for a small switchback as they head down the Mistral for the first time. Is he about to send one down the inside? I don't think he is. Doesn't look too convincing with his straight line speed. He just stays behind for the time being. Further back, Partix lost ground to the two TIR drivers on their first appearance in AEC since the final race, I believe, of the first season. But otherwise, clean start.
Yeah, so I was on board Mr. M Racer at the start, and he did not go racing. According to his engineer, they'd like to not go out for him. He lost 9 positions at the start. It's now 8 after he got a position back on Patrick. But yeah, Mr. Racer, who qualified P5, has dropped to P14. He's recovered 1 position and is now back in the P13.
Yeah, M Racer, who was spun around the very first corner in Zandvoort, was never able to get going. Luckily this time, he is still in that mid-pack, and he's now side by side with his teammate Bobbert. They're going to have to sort this one out. Whether it's Lucas, whether it's Smeggy on the engineering pit wall, I think it might be both of them since I've abandoned them this evening. Ahead goes Bourbon Boy of Supply Raptor. Bobbert gets priority there over M Racer. I'm not sure they literally meant that, but either way, work to be done there. A little bit of Noah's Ark going on 12th through 15th. But anyway, Stonk staying in second. Agonize is the one putting on the pressure, but I really don't see what be too many moves at the front of the field on what is an absolutely neutral strategy across all of the drivers.
Yeah, makes it really exciting, doesn't it? At the back of the grid, Mr. Hardman has just lost 2 positions. Nico got past him, Partik and his teammate also passed him. The top 4 has stayed as it is. The biggest gainers is 3 positions. That is Nico up to P16. But if you look at the top of the field, the top 4 have stayed as they are. Justin's gained 2, and Gabor has also gained 2 positions. Yeah, it's neutral strategy, and at the moment the race is a bit of a neutral. Everyone's slipstreaming each other. The whole field is in DRS range, and DRS will be activated when they cross the start-finish line.
Good evening to NVR Term. Now, that is a name you'll know very well if you watched yesterday evening. He won for AMS. Again, might take something extraordinary this evening for a repeat of that. But well done to Term for winning what was a very wet race at the very same circuit last night. Anyway, there's been another move. Again, it's involving drivers in this midfield pack. They're always making it interesting, but they've also got to be conscious that if the train starts to split up, then we have 2 completely different races forming, and drivers getting very frustrated and then trying to re-overtake each other to claw back onto the train. It could get very chaotic in there, but for the time being, all 19 cars are in this single DRS train. Now, this often makes it boring for us spectators, for you viewers, but we've seen worse at France, haven't we, over the years?
Let's go. Stonks has gained on Bowman here. The ARS level's pretty similar. Bowman's got 10% more, but everyone is 70 plus really. No one's using anything. But Stonks, though, I think in the next lap or 2 might be going for an overtake here on Bowman.
Yeah, Justin as well. I thought that he might have had a look on Placky as one TTM driver under pressure, the other one applying the pressure. Let's go further down and see that M Racer into Debose has got ahead of Easton at turn 11. He turns that into P11. Now, see what race pace he's got. Sort of been denied his front of field capabilities. Remember, he was the only driver last season to win a race other than BRT or NVR. That's still been followed. So far this season, only BRT or NVR have won. Again, it looks TTM the most likely to try and break that in the early stages of this season. But M Racer is your quickest car on the circuit, and he's not used too much battery either. He's making a move here.
Mr. M Racer. He's on the recovery drive. Turns out the lights didn't go out because there's no lecky in the meter. There's no lights at all.
50p.
Yeah, get your 50p in meter. But yeah, top 4 stayed as they are still. Stonks, though, had a bit of a... went into turn 1 a little bit too early and he had a bad exit, but he is gaining on Bowman here. He's gaining and gaining and gaining. He turns the DRS on, goes for the overtake, gets it done before the chicane, cuts back in and is ahead.
TTM Stonks leads here at Circuit Paul Ricard, but Liam Bowman has a very interesting exit there, and it looked like he wanted to get back on that battery, but I think he'd rather stick behind for the time being. But look how much he's gaining through Scene, having to lift off, go down a gear, and then he'll start gearboxing the Dutch driver, heading into Debose for the 4th time this evening. Agonised had a little look from behind as well, but that is just what we're talking about when drivers prioritise just staying behind. I think at this point in the race you could just very easily have another driver attacking you from behind. BRT Justin, again, still looking like he wants to make that move on Placky. Used a little bit more ERS than the second TTM Dutch driver in this race. Rounded the final corner. There's so many cars in close proximity still.
It's mental.
Yeah, it's great.
The whole field separated by 7.5 seconds. This is something I've not seen in a long time, to be honest. Maybe you see it at the your top esports, but yeah, this is pretty incredible. Keep it up, lads. Keep it up.
P14 points. Yes, it is. That gives you 1 point. The sacred final points paying position that even I would love to finish there, but they've failed on both occasions this season. Anyway, here comes Liam Bowman. Is he going for the race lead? No, he's not. He's turned off his DRS. Behind, Agonised, ducks out of the slipstream. This might be the engine temperature we're talking about. Drivers just trying to cool their car down a little bit, just so they have the top end speed for when it really matters. I'm not sure. I wish we could see some live engine temperatures, but that would give away a lot of data that the teams don't want to reveal. Liam Bowman again on the attack. No, he isn't. And the end of lap 5, Agonised having another look. Just feels like a same old thing happening. And for the second consecutive lap, M-Racer has overtaken, this time Supply Raptor.
Yeah, Mr. M-Racer now up on the position. He's got 5 to make up then. He's back to where he started the race. Everyone's still in DRS range, even right at the back of the grid. Mr. Partick probably the furthest away from the driver ahead of him. But Stonks and Bowman, they're not pulling away from Agonised. Agonised has got a full battery. He's not touched any of it. And yeah, it's pretty close, to be honest. I think an undercut is probably going to be a make or break of this race.
Yeah, I thought Bourbon Boy was maybe defending there from M-Race. I was going to try and catch one of his moves finally into the first corner, but nothing doing there. Nice helicopter cam. You could just see the mesmerising blues and reds of the runoff area here in Paul Ricard. You know that blue and red area is made up of asphalt, good start, and tungsten.
Did someone say tungsten? Someone say tungsten. Little beating Peter, right? As Bowman gets very close to the back. I think Agonised is going to put a bit of pressure on Bowman, force him into an overtake. Agonised is looking very speedy here with his full battery, just chilling behind Bowman. The engineers will see that, and Bowman, if he's going to get held up by Stonks, which he's looking for a
look at M-Racer! Look at him go! Oh my words! Into turn 10, he just started applying the battery. And this is what he's been doing for the last 2 laps that we've missed. 3rd lap in a row. First Eastern, then Supply Raptor, now Bourbon Boy, 1 by 1. Using ERS at that very same corner and just getting the job done every single time. Sorry to interrupt there, but we finally caught him.
I missed it. You spotted a good spot. Yeah, Mr. Racer gets a good overtake there. Bowman once again. He has to ease off though. He's got 100% now. This is tough. This is tough to call so far.
Smeggy asking, so you're telling me my darts are made of the same material of the floor in France? According to Wikipedia, yes. That's exactly what I'm saying. But as primary school teachers like to say, don't trust Wikipedia. People can edit it at any time. I'm sure it's correct.
So Bowman then, he will have DRS here. Agonised will also have DRS. Stonks might be a bit of a sit and duck if Bowman wants to overtake, but as you've seen in previous laps, he might turn his DRS off, but he hasn't yet. And he's going for it. He is going for it this lap.
Oh,
goes it, and Stonks can't defend this one and is in P2.
Good job from Liam Bowman. Took his time weighing up whether he wanted to retake the lead of the French Grand Prix. He has done, but look at Agonised. That's one of the closest points he's been as well. Is about to do. He'll do the Liam Bowman has to the inside. He's been weighing it up as well. Down the inside he goes at Dabose, and he's got Stonks there. All potentially, but he's in that sweet spot. Where again, if the same thing happens with Agonised and Bowman, then he's there as well to be able to pick up the pieces. Yeah,
Agonised is looking pretty good here, to be honest. Bowman now also on 100%, Stonks down to 95.
That's Gabor, who's had a slide coming out the final corner.
He's dropped 2.
Yeah.
2 positions, so Gabor now into P8. Still, the whole field. Simbarak's now the only driver out of DRS.
He's fighting to get back in it though. I hope he does, just so we can say that we've still got the entire field within the DRS train. And I don't think he's been able to do it, has he? Down to 18% on the battery. TF10 Nico in a lot better position though, so he might be able to take command here and lead them back towards the front of the field. Let's go back to Agonised, who was within a 10th. Adef1 Her and Justin have swapped. BRT have been playing a nice and quiet game here. Justin, of course, inherited that position from Gabor's uncharacteristic mistake, but sitting 5th and 6th, they are able to do a lot as well in terms of teamwork, the same as what TTM are doing in 3rd and 4th. Liam Bowman, Agonised, still under a lot of pressure themselves, especially that Gabor has just put himself 2 positions further down the order.
It is weird seeing Bunga not in the Alfa Romeo
I know.
It's taken me a little bit of time to get used to it, to be honest. But yeah, they're 5 and 6 at the moment, not doing too bad. When does the old pit window open? Does Mr. Joseph know that?
Do I know that? I don't.
Someone.
But it's we're just gonna go for the usual. Everyone tries to undercut each other on the hards point of the race. So I'm saying about 4 laps probably before we really see it.
Yeah, 14, 15 probably.
Yeah. Lap 18 is the optimal pit. Yeah.
18.
Yeah. Believe that. Completely believe that.
A few games ago, hard soft used to be the old strategy, didn't it? If Term's in the chat, it's Term in the chat. Well, he was. He used to always do hard soft. So, I don't know if that's the optimal strategy more. Probably not. But yeah, Agonize me close to the back of the home. See what I did there?
Jay says 14-15. Yeah, we'll just say just after halfway then, just to simplify things for anybody that might be watching their first ever AEC tournament race. Welcome. Nobody willingly finds us, do they? It's just all the old fellas.
Yeah.
No ad break. No, I'm being a hypocrite now. I always complain about adverts, and somebody's put them on. Oh well, they're just gonna have to deal with that, aren't they? Sorry, guys. Google Pixel. It's always Google Pixel.
So the race, a bit of stalemate, I would say.
A bit.
A little bit. People, it's a waiting game. The race doesn't really start now till the pits, to be honest. But yeah, well, when people pit, that's when it all begins, because the undercut could be huge. Anywhere like Justin, Dan, any of them undercut by a lap or two, they'll be up there P1, P2.
Welcome back from the adverts. We can tell you that you missed a grand total of 0 overtakes. You've been advertised Google Pixel for the 84th time this week. And that, yeah, we're sorry for the inconvenience that may have caused you. In other news, both of the Williams cars there losing positions, both to Ferrari cars. TIR making moves. Liam Hardman up into 16th, but he got a 3-second penalty for that. Now Guyot overtaking Patrick Leger of FGE there as well. So a nice little battle between 2 of the bottom 3 teams in the championship. With all due respect to TIR, they haven't had an opportunity to score any points this season, with this being their first race. At the front of the field, it's as it was. No Harry Styles reference there, just literally it's nothing's changed in the last couple of laps, with Liam Bowman leading from Agonised and Stonks. The only change from the grids, Agonised overtaking Stonks, as we all know. Sitting behind, we've not really seen any moves down the start-finish straight, but that looks like a Mercedes on the attack on ESV Bobberts and hitting the rear end of the Red Bull. Again, a close call between the two.
In breaking news, it looks like Peter Wright is about to beat Luke Littler.
Wow.
Potentially. But yeah. Now, Agonised, does he go for it here? Is the answer. Well, he's turned it on, but then he'll probably flick it. Oh no, he's carrying on. He's going for it. Hang on a second. Oh,
hello.
Cautious, lad. He has gone for it, and he is in P1.
FRT Agonised leads for the first time this evening. That's our 3rd different race leader in the 11 laps that we've ran so far. It won't be official though if Liam Bowman re-overtakes him on the run towards Senan de Beausset. Again gaining, but he will downshift, sit in 7th gear, gearbox him, Stokes nowhere near, and he will stay in 2nd place. Running commentary, what seems like lap after lap of us saying that. Down the inside goes Gabor on Dan Jones, and he's going to switch to the inside at Bendor. Down the inside he goes, he's spun around. He's hit the side of Dan Jones, and the Hungarian goes looping into a 1st and 2nd spin as the marbles on his tyres means he is unable to recover. A big moment there for Novus Racing in their pursuit of the top of the championship.
Oh, bloody hell. Peter Wright had matched out and lost. In other news, Bowman, very, very close now to the back of Agonized. This top 3 battle, top 4 really. Placky's he's not led the race yet. Stonks, Bowman and Agonized have all had the lead of the race. This is really interesting. We're on lap 12 of 27. At the moment, you could put, a blanket over all of them. It's that tight at the top of the field. Is the lead about to change again?
Yeah, nice of Gabor there to reinforce Hungary's views on same-sex marriage by failing an overtake at Bendor. Sorry, I'm going to retire. It got that is a yellow card, but Balera Fox delighted with that one, as I said the thing. So that's good. We got one laugh.
So Mr. Bowman is again right on the back of Agonized. Agonized has not been able to escape. No driver who's had the lead has been able to escape here. And they'll be thinking about pitting. Obviously, lap 14 is optimal, but you never know. In this game, people can go stupidly early. And as I said, one of the Bunga drivers, they might not have anything to lose it. They might want to, potentially get themselves back into P1, P2. And they could do. If they go a lap or two early, they could quite easily see themselves undercut about 4 or 5 drivers. And the undercut could be pivotal from the end of the race.
Rev Caterpillar tuning in the darts break, I imagine, coming along to see that FRT are still leading. I say still leading, they've only been leading for a couple of laps, but it's a great sight, isn't it? At the top. Liam Bowman, though, constant pressure, a fully charged battery to use. But let's not pretend Agonized is not in the same boat. Let's not pretend he does not completely deserve this on merit from a qualifying performance that saw him within 1/10 of the pole sitter. And now leading the way as well. Big break in the train, of course. Liam Hardman 4 seconds off of TF10 Nico. It's very much become a top 13. Here comes Liam Bowman. Closed his DRS, so no intent on making a move. But Stonks is there waiting in the wings as well. Went slightly wide at turn 8.
Yeah, Stonks misses breaking point ever so slightly there. Dropped a little bit away from Bowman. He was a lot closer. Going to Bowman, slipstream and Agonized all the way around to go. And you've got Justin as well. This is super close. Is anyone going to come in here? I haven't seen on the dashboards the blue spanner. I believe that means the pit window is open, if I'm correct.
You're absolutely right, and if it's red it means they can't pit because their teammate's there. So there's only one thing that this might mean. ETA Agonized, is he pit lane bound? No, he isn't. Maybe his strategy has changed, knowing that he is now in the race lead. ADEF1 Her also had that icon,
they have got
but
pitters.
Opts to stay out. We have got pitters. Supply Raptor comes in. CRF1 Eastern comes in, as does Liam Hardman, but it's really these two that are about to spring a surprise, I think, to some of the front runners.
Yes, Supply Raptor, I think he was about P7-ish, P8. I think he was just behind. I can't remember now. I think he was about P8. We'll say about P8. See where he gets to. See where he can put himself. But yeah, Mr. Raptor, his teammate currently on leading the way of the race. This is Defo. Oh, 12 he was. Oh, he was 12. Never mind then. Thought he was a bit closer than that. He pit because he overtook everyone. That's what it was.
Yep.
Yep.
That's one thing I'll say that the circuit's like Silverstone for, because you just cut the final corner and then you can lead the race for a second. I told you the similarity. Yeah. I get it now.
Right, Bowman then. Is this where he goes for a move? He's got the blue spanner as well.
Well, he's always a spanner. Sorry. He's not.
VAR checking again.
Second yellow. Well, VAR don't do second yellows, so we're all right for the time being. Ref didn't see it. We're fine. P12 before pit. That was for Eastern. Yeah, same boat there as Supply Raptor. Do they come into the pit lane? We've got a poor camera angle, and Placky does. He gets first dibs at TTM, being the second car. Bobbitt's jumped up to third there momentarily, but he's also pitting to try and maybe cover off Supply Raptor and Eastern. But this is a big move for Placky. Could take the lead with this one lap undercut.
Yeah, Mr. Raptor then is coming to the final corner now. It was P12, I knew that. See where he potentially puts himself. Placky was P4 when he pit. Raptor is not going to be too far behind them, to be honest. He isn't.
There's
too far
Placky.
behind at all.
Yeah.
So he's technically about P5 there, Raptor.
That's handy. That is a handy lap undercut there from FRT. And they'll want Supply Raptor as close as possible because they've got to try and do everything to make sure Agonized possibly wins, at the very least gets on the podium. This is an opportunity now for FRT that they just cannot let slip. Good lap one with Dan Jones. Good round one with Dan Jones on the podium. Sam in P5. It's not something they've been able to easily replicate. But Agonize has another look, doesn't he? Because he knows that Stonks, all being well, will also come into the pits at the end of this lap and then try and defend on behalf of his teammate Placky. That's a slide. Maybe a little bit of lag involved with that one, but do any of the top three come into the pits? All of the top three come into the pits! Oh, we almost had contact! Bowman went wide. Agonize thought there may have been an opportunity to try and slide on through. That was a close call once again.
Bloody hell, that was close, that. Mr. ADF1, he had to stay out there because his teammate came in. We need to watch, though, Mr. Placky, as he's coming round the final corner now. Has he undercut and gone himself into P1? He was P4. This is going to shake up the grid a little bit here. I can see it happening. Raptor as well. Keep an eye on him. He was P12 when he pit. And now they're coming out of the pits. Sets the fast lap, Mr. Easton. And look at that.
Oh, wow. Oh, that's fun.
P3.
That is really fun.
That does put a cat amongst the pigeons.
But Agonized is down to a net 6th with that. Did they just leave it too long? I know it's difficult.
There, Joseph.
Here he comes, Liam Bowman. Yes, Easton's on 2 lap olds, medium tyres, but that is the first vital move that the Scottish driver needed to make. 2 more cars stand in his way of a net race lead once again. But that I'm just coming back to that drop there for Agonized. That's big.
Mr. Partik's got a bit of a fight of his hand here. Sim Barracks as well. But yeah, Placky currently now net P1. Supply Raptor up 10 positions from his undercut. Bowman in net P3. Easton dropped off a little bit there, but is in P4. It's all shaken up now. Everyone else is coming into the grid now, apart from Nico, who stays out for another lap on the hards.
Hard, soft possibility for TF10's Nico. We've alluded to it once, but that actually might be happening on his part. Partik, they're doing the same thing as well, as is Gabor, who doesn't really have much choice but to try and grief the race leader, TTM Placky, as he almost drives into the side of him there. Tried to do his job. So now I'm going to defend from Supply Raptor, who's up his inside. Oh, Liam Bowman was there as well. There's contact. Liam Bowman and Supply Raptor come together. His right rear tyre struck there by the ominous AlphaTauri. They managed to both get away with it, but Liam Bowman sees the red lights flashing at the rear of the Mercedes. He'll pull to the left-hand side. This should be a fairly straightforward move. He uses a bit of ERS to get himself ahead, but that is Liam Bowman back into a net P2 with the help and a bit of a fright from his teammate.
Agonize gets past one, he might get past another, and he might get past another as well. There could be 3 overtakes in his little corners. Gabordo touches his rear tyre, goes up the inside, and he gets ahead of him. They're going wheel to wheel, and now Mr. Easton is under pressure. He's got Agonize right behind him, up the inside. Mr. Gabordo, they go wheel to wheel, contact made again. They go wheel to wheel, more contact made, and Mr. Agonize gets ahead of Gabor. Bloody hell.
I'm scared. I'm very scared to how these have not had a massive blow amongst all this battling. NVR Gabor still playing a little bit of hold up. He still continues to stay out. TF10 Nico has come into the pit lane, sees this opportunity while all this battling is going on to maybe have a nice fresh tyre boost towards the end of the race. Here comes Liam Bowman. was within a tenth, but didn't fancy it into the first corner. Supply Raptor maintains a net third, but does have to watch his battery now. CRF1 Eastern also in the same boat. Here comes Agonize down the inside, gets to the apex, gets ahead of the Alpine. Now this is a net 3-4 for FRT. Do they think about swapping based on the ERS situation though? And will there be a move for the net lead? Here comes Liam Bowman. Surely he's got to go for it. He's opened up the DRS. He's already alongside the McLaren. And into the lead he goes. It was a net fourth when he made the pit stop, but he's quickly turned that into the race lead once again.
This is absolutely great. Stonks gets ahead of Easton. He's up into P6 now. Partik's still the only driver out there now. A safety car, and he might stick the old soft tyres on. I don't know if they'll go that long, but he could potentially do it. Justin, up the inside of Easton. They're going to go wheel to wheel. Steady on, boys. This could be carnage, but it could be clean racing. Justin up the inside. Easton's going to have to back out of it, and Justin is up into P7. Bunga, they were P5 and 6 when they pit. They're now P7 and 13. ADEF1 has got to get past Gabor. Roadblocks because he is yet to pit as well. Team work going on there. Bourbon Boy now stuck behind Mr. Gabor.
Yeah, I've just seen Gabor and ADEF1 Hogarth, which I'm sure is not what you saw, so hopefully I'm not lagging. Agonized, now the quickest man on track. He's on the same tyre wear as Liam Bowman. Let's see if they end up battling once again, but it's Placky in the way now, not Stonks, so slightly different to what it was earlier. The FRT drivers did swap, different ERS, different tyre wear. Yep, that's about what you'd expect them to do, really. Simbarox 1 3-second time penalty. He's at the foot of the field at the moment. Liam Bowman gets ahead of Partik. He's yet to pit in this race. This could be a problem for Placky. No, it isn't, because without the DRS, Placky could just go straight on through. It will then become a problem for Agonized, who has to react as Partik ends up braking just a little bit earlier. Penalty there for M-Racer as well. I mean, quite common that we're seeing drivers picking them up now. Agonized to the right-hand side, having to sacrifice some of his battery to ensure he gets it done before seen and not get held up into Debose. That's the move completed. TTM Stonks around the outside of Supply Raptor. Oh, that could have been close, as the Mercedes could have very much understeered into the McLaren. They both do a good job of avoiding it. Stonks back up into P5. Justin's up the inside of Supply Raptor, who has to go a bit wide. He was caught napping there, the American. Justin's going to hold the inside into the penultimate corner. Partik's finally into the pit lane. We have our positions back as they were once again.
This is now where the race really starts. No more roadblocks potentially out there. Gabor gets one for speed in the pits as well. I doubt he's going to get any points today, to be honest, unless something happens later in the race. Bowman, though, look at his ERS compared to the rest of the field. Ahead of him, behind him even, Placky and Agonized, and not looking too healthy as he once were. Bowman, if he wanted to, might be able to pull away a little bit on Placky, but we will have DRS now, and he could close the gap right back up on him.
Bowman, a ridiculously complete driver in the sense that he's got the pace, but he's also got the ERS management, the tyre management, all of the attributes of great champions down the couple of seasons that we've had in AEC. Agonized gets ahead of Placky. He sees the opportunity that he's got more ERS and that he should be able to do most of the work in trying to stay with Liam Bowman. Might not be a bad shout, that, and he's had the lap fresher tyres, so he shouldn't be under too much threat of him re-overtaking. M-Racer, this time around the outside of Justin. It's been the inside for most of the moves he's made at Debose. Turns into the inside for Bendor, and he's, for God's sake, he's made the move into fifth.
So like 20 of 27, that's on. Bowman is controlling the race at the moment. Got into a bit of trouble with the pits, but is out of the trouble now, and Agonized has him in his sights. DRS will help him. Teamwork going down at T10. Stonks at the head of Placky. He's up into P3 now, but doesn't have a lot of ARS to play with. Bowman and Agonized could pull away potentially here in the final few remaining laps.
Absolutely. 7 to go, including this lap. Or is it 6? No, it's 7, and then it's 6 from next lap. Yeah, I'm not being stupid.
6.5.
6 and 2/3 now, as they complete Sector 1. If we're being that specific about things, but nobody's that bothered, are they? They just want to see the end of the race get nearer and the battles really begin to commence once more. Agonized gaining for the race lead, unsurprisingly not making the move. Here's Dan Jones on Eastern. ESV Bobbitt's getting through as well. Both Shizou drivers with a 3-second time penalty. Smeggy saying they're removable. Need some pretty damning evidence for that, but the amount of times we've seen cars go everywhere to try and avoid each other this evening, I wouldn't be too surprised if that is the case. Adaf won her now on the back of Eastern as well. He pit the earliest alongside Supply Raptor. 2 cases there of wheel banging. I don't know how they've survived and got into turn 11, both of them in the right direction, but they have. Adaf won her is up to 10th.
Yeah, he's harvesting a little bit. He's not. It seems to be really hard to harvest, to be honest, but he is doing it slowly. It's slowly, but he is doing it. He's now up to the 40% DRS again for him. He's sticking with Bowman here. Bowman has not been able to pull away as such. DRS on the next straight. Agonized might be able to get his nose ahead.
He might be able to. Starting to creep back up in terms of that percentage, but Bowman not really having to use any either. Sasha Andre keeps saying, and I know there's been a real Romanian support in the chat tonight. He's saying that Liam Bowman could get a penalty for that pit lane infringement of which he ran wide. Personally, we've not really seen it that strict before, have we, in AEC, Tom? And you'll know that more than me, but first glance...
Yeah, I didn't see it, but it depends, really. It depends on the situation. If he's gained an advantage from it, it's more likely to be a penalty. In the rule book, it says keep all 4 wheels on the line. So if he hasn't, then he has rule break in there. I've not seen it, so I'll watch the clip afterwards.
Yeah, there's going to be common sense needed for the stewarding there rather than complete application of the rules. I know that's always been the case in AEC, but we'll see. Could it deny him the race win? We'll know in a few days' time, I guess. But let's not let that take away from the battle that we could have. And a legendary battle it could end up being as FRT chase, I believe, their first ever AEC win. It would be. As Agonized gets close, lifts off. There's another extra few ERS percentage points. Let's not look at that as a bad thing. It's only going to benefit Agonized for the remainder of the race.
Yeah, Agonized now up to 46. He's gained about 4% ERS a lap. It's not loads, but Bowman's doing the exact same. He's not touching his ERS either. Agonized does have the cards in his hands at the moment because he will have the ERS down the straight when he wants to use it, and that'll probably be his only shot. I can't see Bowman making any mistakes. Agonized is gaining here, and he is gaining. He's going to back out of it. He does back out of it. Potential move on the cards there, but didn't go for it.
Up to 50% on the ERS. This is not me giving engineers an advantage, because we know full well that Bowman streams, his ERS is always very public. This is just us now looking at the context of the battle that is about to carry on. Placky and M-Racer side by side. That's M-Racer on the inside again. Oh, did he force Placky wide there? Did he give the Dutch driver a car's width on the exit? That's perhaps the first move that we can potentially question. The rest have been brilliant. He has been non-stop down the inside of that corner. His race pace has been sublime. The only thing that's let him down is the 3-second penalty and the fact that he didn't have any lights on his screen at the start. It's a case of what could have been once again for M-Racer this evening. Yeah,
he's been driving today, to be honest. From where he was down to P14. He lost 9 positions. Yeah, down to P14 after like turn 1. And he's got himself back up to P4. Yeah, he does have a penalty, potential removal. But yeah, he would, at the moment, he'd be my driver today.
Yeah, mine as well, I think. Based on the fact that I would have given up just not seeing my lights. I don't think I would have gone. Consti QBC, welcome. Oh, hang on. I've turned my volume down. That's not good. I don't know who that is, to be honest. But if they're an affiliate of any team, can we ask that they please leave?
He's joined for open lobbies. And he's left because he's not open lobbies.
5 lappers, guys. 5 lappers. I'm down.
So agonised. Yeah, he's harvesting. He is. He's waiting. He's waiting for his chance here. He really is waiting for his chance. It'll come. It's gonna happen. He's had a couple of opportunities now down the back straight to get it done, if he wants to. Bowman will know that's going to happen on the potentially lap 27. It could happen a lap earlier if Agonize wants to go for it. But yeah, this is now, it starts to get a bit spicy.
Bolera Fox saying that was my alter count. No, your alter count is France turn 12. I need to stop rinsing that now. I really need to stop. 3 laps to go. And if anybody had any money on a 3-way fight between Bowman, Agonized and Stonks for the race win this evening, then, wow, you are about to win pretty big, in my opinion, because Stonks chasing a 4th consecutive team podium for TTM. That's across the board this season. Placky also doing the same thing, tried to keep up their 100% record that no other team can boast. Agonized looking to make it a first ever AEC Tier S win for FRT. Liam Bowman looking to make this his 5th win in the last 2 seasons. Some unbelievable records at stake here tonight. Did Liam Bowman win in season 1? No, he didn't. He wasn't good enough back then. He was mid. He was getting better, but mid on F1 22.
Rusty was just incredible.
He was, to be fair.
Rusty holds the record for the most wins, and he did 1 season in AEC.
I've looked at the season 1 standings. Bowman's best result was 18 points. Was that 4th? No, 5th. That's a 5th place finish in Belgium in season 1. And of course, he bettered that 6 times with 4 wins and 2 second places last season. That's just off the top of my head again.
Yeah, I see Sasha's in the chat. I'm pretty sure Sasha won the first ever race, and then AEM dipped. I think we did 1 race and dipped. I'm pretty sure it was Sasha. But yeah. Penultimate lap, here we go.
AEM dipped within a week of me joining. It's funny, because I was actually reading the offer that I got, because I was checking my DMs with JT, wondering, trying to remember what the password was for, for the account. That was a very interesting conversation just over a year ago. But less of AEM, less of the historical aspects. We've got a present and a future to try and work out, because Agonized is still on the charge. There's some battling going on further behind. Dan Jones, who has participated in another ambitious TF10 undercut. Maybe he'd be wishing he was at FRT with their fairly decent strategy course this evening. You have to admit, Agonized, although he did drop to a net 6th, did manage to cut through the field with the help of his teammate Supply Raptor, who's also up a net, 3-4 positions himself from where he pitted from. So job is another good one for FRT on the strategy front. But we are about to have a final lap battle. I'm very excited. FRT, get your bucket hats on. Could be a first win coming up for you.
So, Agonized, he's probably only got the straight here to make his move. He has now got more ERS than Bowman. He's got DRS to help him as well. It's in his hands here. It's in Agonized's hands. If he has a good sector 1 and is within about 4/10 of Bowman, it should be his race, to be honest. Bowman will know this. Bowman is also using his ERS, and he knows Agonized is coming for him.
It's a level playing field on the battery front, but ETA Agonized is about to have 1.8 kilometre worth of Mistral straight to try and capitalise on, to try and slipstream as well, and take a 5th victory away from Liam Bowman. Here he comes, he's burning his ERS, but Liam Bowman is as well. Downforce coming into play. What wings have they selected? We'll never know. It's one of the confidential things is setups in F1 23 racing. He's not got close enough. Coming into turn 8, out of 9. He's back into the slipstream, of which Liam Bowman is trying to break. The straight line speed on that AlphaTauri is unbelievably impressive. Through scene, Bowman starting to flash on the rear. ETA Agonized is going to have a look. He's going to go for it up the inside.
Oh.
He's tapped the rear right of Liam Bowman. That could have been race over for the pair of them. He has another look down these. What on earth? What on earth is Stonks doing there? Agonized is off the circuit. He's having to save it from going into the concrete wall. Can you believe it? TTM Stonks out of nowhere has just placed a second dose of jeopardy into FRT there. Liam Bowman, despite the last lap pressure, takes a 5th AEC victory. M-Racers on the podium, but drops to 7th because of a 3-second time penalty after showing great race pace. It's Stonks and Agonized that are on the podium, but not in the order you'd expect.
I mean, that was a bit desperate. Stonks almost clipped Bowman at the end there. He did clip Agonized, but he almost got Bowman there. And that would have been disastrous. But Bowman deserved that. He had a good final lap there. He got a good exit going onto the straight. Agonized got nowhere near close enough to him. Bowman started flashing his ERS. Agonized then went for a risky move up the inside, and then Stonks went for a 2-footer tackle over the ball. If I'm being totally honest.
Agonized has just put P2 nice in the TRS chat. He knows that Stonks could face some potential trouble for that last lap move, which was, yeah, that was not great, was it? But he saw the gap, he went for it. It's the argument that any racing driver will try and produce. Liam Bowman, is he going to be under investigation for the pit lane entry? We'll soon find out. That might be another thing that FRT choose to report being directly involved as the car behind. It's not over yet, certainly. Make sure you, well, follow us for the updated results when we have them and whatnot. But, yeah. That's not over, even after 27 laps of hard, frantic racing. Smeggy says M-Racer's the real winner. I'm going to agree with that. That was silly, from coming through 13th all the way to 3rd, with the amount of overtakes that he just did, exactly the same thing. I don't know how he showed such good pace there.
It was a good race, that, to be fair. Really good race. Bowman controlled it. Even though I thought Agonized was going to get it at the end, he did not. But yeah, fair play. Yeah, can't say much more than that. Congratulations to Bowman. He gets the win.
He does. Here are the final results then. And we are going to need all of the deltas that we can possibly see, because if there are any penalties to be applied, could be big for Stonks. 5 seconds, hypothetically, would drop him down into P9. And that would officially take away that 100% podium record for TTM. Further down the order, rounding off the points, Patrick Leger for FGE. No return points for TIR, unfortunately. A race where everybody was within a shout at one point. 7 seconds covering the top 19 in the first 5 or so laps of the race. But Gabor as well down the order. Let's not forget that. Great race that. Thoroughly enjoyed it. And a one-off return to AEC. Pretty good job.
Yeah, I enjoyed that, mate. I enjoyed that. Don't know when the next one will be. Might be the last one we do, to be honest. Who knows?
I'm sure I'll be back before the end of the season, because EOR, which is usually on a Thursday, and one of the reasons why the grid was pretty good tonight, I have to say. A lot more focus into this rather than having to balance two things. Yeah, I'm sure I'll be back at some point. You're always on standby when the Premier League darts isn't taking up your viewing pleasure. Should I leave you to that? Should we leave everybody to put?
Good, mate. I've enjoyed that.
It's been great.
Yep, perfect. We'll catch you all next week for Tier 1, or when I think there's a break week in there somewhere. Can't remember. If there's a break week, I'll see you in 2 weeks. If there's not, I'll see you next week. Perfect. Adios. See you later.
There is a break week. Calendar's going up just before we end. It's Spain in 2 weeks' time. Don't miss it, guys. Have a good evening. Take care.